Hello, my name is Leo and welcome to a new day of Vesper5. The clock is ticking and we only have 2 more days until the end of the game. Very saddening news, if I do say so myself. Now, we talked in probably the longest Vesper5 video I've ever done. Longer than a good portion of most of my other videos, which is quite sad when you think about it. I think it was like 20 minutes or something when I talked about all the different things I've done in real life. I didn't even finish them all. I left, when we left off in the life story of Leo, real life, during Vesper5. Leo had just returned home from Japan. And from then, he started using his old computer again. And the game sounds, the beautiful, lovely music that you're listening to right now, accompanied with my beautiful, fresh, palate-tonal voice, the game sounds came back. Right, so the game, anyway, let's make my move. Alright, screen didn't scroll. The screen did not scroll. So that means there's no secret Wolfenstein 3D doors. Well, you never know, there might be. You know what? I've got an idea. I have an idea. Tomorrow, I'm not gonna go down. I'm gonna go right, and then down, and then left. Or, I'm gonna go right, and then down, and then down, and then left, and then up. Or, I'm gonna go right, and then down, then down, then right. That's right. I'm gonna go right, then down, then left, then up, then right, then down, then left, then up, then right, and then down. Just do a full circle. Just confuse everyone. Or I'll just keep going around in circles forever. I can't go back now, so all I can really do is, I don't know, draw lines in the sand. Anyway, I should just finish the game, shouldn't I? But I actually would like to see what is to the left. Should I, though? I might as well. I mean, the game's gonna finish tomorrow anyway. You know what? Stuff it. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Extended Vesper5 playthrough for 2 more days. We're going right tomorrow. Anyway, so we were talking about. So the game sounds have turned as I started using my old faithful computer. Now, as I ran it, I stumbled across something on the internet that was quite interesting, and the idea was a one-life challenge, or as Blackjack calls it, YOLO. I don't really like to call it that. I prefer one-life challenge because I don't like the whole YOLO meme. Anyway, the basic idea was this. You take a collection of all the games that you own, a big long list of all the games you own. Now, the way that they were doing on the internet was they were going through the games alphabetically from A to Z and playing them, one at a time with one life. If you died, then that's it, you're dead. And, obviously, if you finish the game, then you get like a point or something like that. I thought doing it from A to Z was a bit silly, especially since a lot of when we catalogued our videos, we weren't necessarily using the actual official name of the game, and because that was too much of a pain in the ass to look up. So I thought it would be much better idea, in my own favourite thing of all things, is the Randomizer. So we made a list of all our games, about 1,100 games in total. And every Saturday we'd get together, we'd pick a game, and we would play that with one life. We took turns, starting with me, then over to Jack. The fourth one, coincidentally, just so happened to be a game. It was Summer Games 2. And it was all 3 of us. So rather than doing it as, let's say, my game or Avo's game or Jack's game, it was sort of like free-for-all. And hopefully, maybe every 4th video will be something like that if we can get enough, free-for-all games that the randomizer picks for us. And the one life challenge, it's been pretty fun. In most playthroughs, we haven't lasted much more than 15 minutes. A select few, we might have done 20 to half an hour. There's only one game so far. Now, well, Summer Games doesn't count. Summer Games, sure, was like an hour or something like that. But, you know, you can't die. There was no losing in that game. Although, we could have counted disqualifications, at which point we all would have died the first round. But there's only been one real game, and it was actually a co-op that includes all three of us, where we didn't die the first day we played it. In fact, the second day we played it, we're still going. We've recorded, I don't know how many hours. There's at least 8 episodes or something. There's a few episodes in there. And yeah, it's we're still going. So I'm not going to release it until we actually die. So we've done other games in the meantime. But I'm not going to reveal the name of the game because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But once we once we all die in that game, then that will get released and you'll be able to check it out. But so far, yeah, most games we pretty much die after 15 minutes, unless it's like a demo, where, for example, Mr. Driller last week, where Jack basically just made it to the end of the demo and he automatically gets a point, which it's a cop-out victory, but, you know, it's the luck of the draw. So sometimes you might get an easy demo to finish. Sometimes, that's not to say that all demos are easy, though. I mean, some demos, like, you know, demos for arcade games, you can still pretty easily die. We've got it with the demo for Guitar Man in there, and I've played that demo, and that demo is really hard if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to my recap of my friggin' life. So after the One Life Challenge happened, Yakuza 5, the Yakuza 5 demo came out, and I downloaded that, and I played that. I even uploaded 4 videos of YouTube that I'll talk about in a moment. It's really great. It's got Taiko no Tatsujin, the drumming game, the arcade drumming game I played in Japan, in the game. It's so cool. The only downside is, in the real arcade game, there's this cute little drum character that sort of like talks in a really cute voice. But in the Yakuza game, the main character, Kazuma Kiryu, says the same lines, but in his really slow and monotone, well, okay, I guess I'm going to play this game then, sort of voice, which is a bit, yeah. After that, we hit our 100th episode of Vesper5, marking what should have been the completion of the game. But clearly, as we can see here, we had quite a few more days to go. We were only 66% the way there in terms of, you know, touching all the artifacts and whatnot. That was now what happened next? Oh, it was so good. Dragonborn, the DLC for Skyrim, was released, and I played so much of it. It was so good, and I'm still playing it, and it's still good. And Dragonborn. What happened next? I'm trying to think now. Oh, we actually started the YOLO challenge, the One Life challenge. That was the first episode was released. And then it was the end of the world. Or so many people thought. I, of course, had no part in that. I knew the world would just continue to spin on. But there were many, there were many conspiracy theories about how the 20th of December 2012 was going to be the end of the world, and oh no, blah blah blah, whatever. What's a bunch of? Basically, it was really just a super huge profiteering racket where people would sell end of the world kits and crap like that. It's really despicable in my opinion. But to pick up our spirits, the next big event IRL was my YouTube channel got 10,000 views, and I was very happy about that. I think we're on 16,000, just over 16,000 views, which is still good. I'd still love to get more. Can't wait to hit 20. But that was a big achievement, so I thought that needed an episode of congratulations. Blackjack gave me Shadows of the Damned, a Suda 51 game. The only other Suda51 game of the main Suda51 games that I haven't actually played. I played Killer 7. I played No More Heroes. I played No More Heroes 2, to be honest with you, but I played No More Heroes 1, Lollipop Chainsaw, but the only game... Wait, there's another game I'm missing. Is another Suda51 game I'm missing? No, I don't think so. But Shadows of the Damned. It's, well, as I said in the title of that video, Shadows of the Damned is, well, it's Suda51. It's the running gag that Avo, Blackjack, and I do, where something to try to, if you ever question anything in a Suda51 game, the answer is always Suda51. You're like, come on, how did this guy with the talking gun and it turns into a giant boner and he's like, swing? What's that all about? Answer, Suda51. Wait, so there's a cheerleader and she eats lollipops and she's got a chainsaw and she cut her boyfriend's head off but he's still alive and she hangs him to it. What's that all about? Answer, Suda51. So there's this guy and he's got like a lightsaber and he wants to be like the #1 assassin. But he's like, wait, when you save, you go take a dump? What? Answer, Suda51. Okay, so what the hell? This is like a on-the-rails shooter, and they're like, wait, what the hell is a heaven smile anyway? Answer, and what kind of language are they speaking? It's all gibblegook. Answer, Suda51. The answer is always Suda51. Anyway, that's the end of my story. So, the next thing we had to contend with, I think this started with Summer Games 1, or Summer Games 2 rather. Well, Summer Games 1 and 2. We started with Summer Games 1 and it didn't work, but we do want to do a Summer Games 1 game later on that will integrate into YOLO. But that game was the first game. I don't really like doing videos over an hour. It's not like I can't. I sure can. It's just that I'd rather split it up. So any video, I made a decision that any video, because the YOLO videos I wasn't doing in like 10-minute or 15-minute breakups. I was just doing the whole game from start to finish, start to death. But I've decided that any video that goes over an hour, we've got to, if it's over an hour, then cut it in half. If it's 2 hours, then cut it into threes, that sort of thing. So Summer Games 1/2 was the first game that was 2 videos for the one game, which, there's nothing wrong with that. Mortal Kombat 9, a friend of mine at work, who's from the UK, had bought Mortal Kombat 9, brought it over from the UK, because Mortal Kombat 9, of course, was never released in Australia. Now that we've got 18 plus classifications for our games, previously we didn't, we only had, the maximum was 15 plus. Hopefully that now we've got the 18 plus ranking, we might actually be able to get Mortal Kombat, although Avo and I, when we had the game, we pretty much played it as much as we needed to. Those videos are going up, every other day, of course. Then a friend of mine at work found a Tamagotchi app for her iPhone, and it made me think, well, back in the old days, and by old days I mean 7 years ago, I had a couple of Tamagotchis. The batteries, of course, had died in them, and I haven't been using them since, but I was like, yeah, I could do Tamagotchis again. So I paid like $15 to get the damn batteries for them, and now, of course, Tamagotchis have ruined my life yet again. I've killed a couple of them a couple of times. I actually had a pink one and a blue one. The blue one was going to be mine, and the pink one was going to be my Japanese waifus, and they can actually talk to each other and play games together and have babies and whatnot. But when my Japanese waifu came back from Japan, she wasn't having any of that. So hers died. So I've just been using mine. I've also got a family one, which is the one that I've been using most recently, which is basically a whole family of Tamagotchis rather than just raising the one Tamagotchi. It's good, but it's not, I don't know, there's something about the old Tamagotchis that is just good, just raising the one Tamagotchi. When you got the whole family in there, it kind of kills it, to be honest. But anyway, enough about Tamagotchis. What happened next? Well, it was Christmas. Christmas time was upon us. I got a bunch of Christmas presents, like mostly cooking stuff, like a pizza maker, little pizza oven with a stone bench pizza thingy. What else did I get? I got some clothes, of course. But the best Christmas present of all time was my Japanese wife, who came back from Japan. She was over there for 9 months. Periodically, she came back in July for about a week. I went over there, of course, in November for 2 weeks. But mostly for the 9 months we've been separated. Very sad time. But Christmas present, my Japanese wife who came back to me, and it was all happy days. Next thing that happened, well, Sega went on there. Most of you probably know about this. Wait, I'm tired. I need a drink. Hang on. Delicious water. Some delicious water. Anyway, Sega went on a bit of a rampage, taking down all videos on YouTube of Shining Force. Why? Well, I don't know. I've never played Shining Force. It sort of looks interesting. I don't know if it's one of the games in the One Life Challenge. I have to look up. I think Jack might have it, or maybe Avo. I'm not sure. I certainly don't have it, but well, I'll look into that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If we draw it, there was almost no point. We'll play the game, but there's no point in doing the video for it. So they've been taking down all the videos of Shining Force, and all of a sudden, as I said before, I did a 4 videos of the Yakuza 5 demo when it came out, and all of a sudden I was uploading a video. Now normally with YouTube, you've got wait, is it 10-minute or 15-minute limit? Unless you verify your account, I can't remember. But yeah, it must have been 10, because most of my videos now are 15 minutes. And I was trying to upload a video, and it was coming up saying, upload failed, or you cannot upload videos of this size. And I was like, what the hell? What are you talking about? And I didn't know what was going on until I just happened to go into my settings or something like that, and it showed that I was in bad standing. And I was like, what the hell? What's happened here? I mean, granted, most of my videos are of copyrighted material, but, I talk over it, and that's what most people do on YouTube anyway. What I'd found out, that is 2 of the videos in my Yakuza 5 demo playthrough had been blocked in all countries by Sega. There were 2 other videos that were fine, but I was like, stuff it, I'll just delete all the videos, lest they decide to block the other 2 as well. So, unfortunately, my Yakuza 5 demo videos had to come down. Oh well, that's fine. Which was a bit disappointing, really, but oh well, that's fine. I've still got the 4 videos from Yakuza 4 that Avo and I did on a whim, and we'll probably never finish that game either. We'll come back to it. It's just 4 videos of the start of the game. But they haven't talked to me. They haven't, blocked those or anything like that. But well, we'll keep our ears to the wall on that one. What happened then? It was New Year's. So, Happy New Year to everyone, and to one and to all. Then I deleted one of my Borderlands 2 videos by accident instead of uploading it. Duh. So I ended up playing Borderlands 1 for like 1 episode just to fill the gap. It's weird. I played Journey, and I realized I've been hearing a lot about Journey, and that it's a really cool and interesting experience, and I couldn't believe how similar to Vesper5 Journey is, or how similar Journey is to Vesper5, or whatever, vice versa, whatever. Because both characters are monk-like characters with red robes, very orange-yellowy environment. Obviously, Journey, it's all sandy and whatnot. In this, I don't know how you would describe the world in this. We still don't really know if it's a cave or not, because, it rains. It rains in Vesper5, so is this a top-down view? Is this a... I don't know, whatever, let's not get into it. Movies, I went and saw Les Miserables. Now, this episode, of course, as one one person pointed out, I accidentally muted my microphone, so there's actually no audio of me saying it, but I did do a rehash of movies later on. I watched Les Miserables because the Japanese wife who wanted to see it. It was alright. It was a bit meh. I really wanted to see Wreck-It Ralph, but she wouldn't have any of that, so we didn't see Wreck-It Ralph. But I've been told that Wreck-It Ralph was not all that good a movie, so I guess I'll see it when it comes out in DVD or whatever. There was another movie, oh yeah, Pacific Rim, which is very similar to Evangelion and like Godzilla robot type movies, big robot movies. So I'd love to see that movie when that comes out. I think that comes out in July. And Iron Man 3, I'd like to see that when it comes out in March as well. I've written down Macca's, as in McDonald's. I think one day I had McDonald's. I ranted about McDonald's charging me extra for having the... I had a double quarter pounder and I asked them to switch the tomato sauce or the ketchup for Big Mac sauce, special sauce, because someone told me at work that they do that for free and they charged me 70 cents for it, and I was really, really frustrated at that. But I got over it. Oh yeah, it's summer in Australia at the moment, and it's not too bad now. It's kind of cooled down a bit, but for a while there, it was friggin' hot. Every day it was so hot, I was dying. I was melting into a pool of water. It's just blisteringly hot. I'm sure for any of you guys who are over in America, I'm sure you're probably freezing to death, but whatever, I'm melting over here, alright? Now, Shi-chan, my Japanese waifu, went and made me some cookies. Some little heart-shaped chocolate chip cookies. And they were nice. They were burnt though, and they were so tasty. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but I sort of said something about them being burnt cookies, and I got in a bit of trouble afterwards. So let's not talk about that again, shall we? And the next thing, which I really shouldn't be talking about, but I gave a Japanese waifu PSA, public service announcement, where I explained the dangers of a Japanese waifu. And you might think Japanese waifus are all sunshine and rainbows, but, well, sometimes they can be a bit of work. But then again, so are most women. So it's, I mean, in comparison, she's probably better than most women demographics that I can think of to have as a waifu. But yeah, I love my Japanese waifu. So let's not talk about that, otherwise you get in trouble again. And then, of course, I came into this chamber and I started talking about how I'm going to miss Vesper5 when it's all over. So you know what? I don't want to finish Vesper5 tomorrow. No. We're going to extend it to at least 2 more days. And I'm going to go to the right, just because I want to see if it'll scroll. I know it probably won't, but I want to see if it will anyway. I mean, today it didn't scroll. Yesterday it did though, because normally, I mean, at the beginning of the game, you might have remembered, the far left of the screen was just that thin wall line, whereas, obviously here, not today, but yesterday when we made our move, it did scroll to show that thick wall line that you can see on the right screen now. Whereas today it didn't scroll at all. Now, I would only assume that tomorrow it would not scroll. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to exit the game from the right side of the screen, probably something which no other players of Vesper5 have done. They've probably either entered from the top or they've entered from the left. And I'm going to enter from the right just for shits and giggles, and that'll give us 2 more days to talk about stuff, and then it'll be the end of Vesper5. So sad. No one's given any suggestions about cool, games. There's another guy who did Vesper5 that I've been watching his videos, and well, now that I've almost finished the game, I've been watching his videos, except for the last one, of course. I don't want to spoil what happens at the end of the magical rainbow of red, blue, spirally propeller things. He was telling me that he's been looking for a new game to play and do vlogs, because vlogs can be a therapeutic sort of thing. But anyway, that's going to do it for me today. I think I've talked far too long. Tomorrow we're going to move to the right, and I'll figure something else to talk about. But for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next time.